Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and it's interesting that we were at this 2101 area only to come back down to 1927. So as of now, our support area is around that 1936. Well, that's kind of like a resistance. Let's say that. Support is around the 1931. So 1931 to 1936, which is under the 5 EMA slightly. So yeah, that we'll have to definitely be careful in this area, because we can find this area as a support place and move back to the upside. So y'all know I always like to say, where are the trouble places for the VIX as of now? So if by chance we break back above 1939, we could or have trouble around 1949. If we break the 1949 area, 1962 above 1962 brings us close to this 20 EMA around 1959. Now if we break that 1959 area, we could possibly have trouble at 1966. And beyond the 1966, 1979, if we break which is the ATR trailing stop, I use that as strong support or strong resistance, right? So above the 1978 or 79 area, we could possibly have trouble around 1991. And if we break the 1991, we could possibly have trouble at the $20 range. So I would definitely watch the VIX past those places. Now, can we continue to the downside? Absolutely, right? We can. So trouble places to the downside, we have under 1931, we could possibly have trouble or support around 1927, again at 1924, 1920, which is really close, and 1915, 1911, and 1905. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside and to the downside for the VIX. And again, I look at the VIX because it kind of gives me an idea of what's going on with the SPY. We do have economic data coming out today. So again, y'all, I always say trade carefully in the market. Anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So we are now looking at the SPY. And the SPY was an inside day candle. We have broken through that trigger early morning. Pre-market 582.83 was the trigger. The target to the upside for the SPY today was 584.97. We've made a pre-market high of 585.05. What's interesting is we closed at 582.30, which kind of like is going to give us a gap to the downside possibly that needs to be filled, right? So where are the trouble places for the SPY? It looks like we are finding support here at this 5 EMA at 584.74 area. That 584.67 is what I had marked. We are finding support here to the upside. If we break, let's say, back above this 584.90, we could possibly have trouble at 585.06 and again at 585.29. If we break the 585.29, we are definitely making new highs for the day. So again, trade carefully. Now, I'm going to look to the downside because it's interesting that we've made this move pre-market. So where are the trouble places to the downside? Under the 584.67, we could possibly have trouble here at 584.42. Under the 584.42 area for the SPY, 584.13. If we lose that area of support, 583.60 and 583.45, which is kind of close, that 20 EMA in a previous resistance or support area here. Now, continuing to the downside, if we lose this area of 583.33, which is right where this ATR trailing stop is forming, it looks like the SPY has a little bit of support in this area, right? So to the downside, I would definitely watch under 583.29, 582.80, and if we lose the 582.80, 582.50, which is right where that 50 EMA is, it's right there at the 50 EMA. So if we drop under this level or lose this support area, we know that we could possibly have trouble around the 581.80, under 581.80, 581.37, and again at 580.91. It would not surprise me to see SPY back at this 580.68, which is right here at this 200 EMA on the 30-minute chart. So if you trade the SPY today, I always say y'all trade carefully. Once it goes against your why, get out. Why? Because in the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So let's look at Tesla today just to see where we are. We closed at 221.33. Tesla is an inside day candle. We did break above that trigger of 222.82. Upside target is 224.26. And that is to the upside. Now to the downside, if by chance we break under 218.93, downside target for Tesla is 217.12. Now, I always like to say, where are the trouble places for Tesla? As of right now, we're finding support at this 20 EMA. Let's see if I can make that a little bit bigger. We're finding support here at this 20 EMA. As you can see, prices here. But the 5 EMA is our resistance area, which is right here at this 222 area. So we definitely need to watch that today for Tesla, that 222. If we get back above that, we could possibly have trouble at the 222.82. I had the 222.98 mark, right? So if we break past the 222.98, we could possibly have trouble at 223.28, and beyond that, 223.93, 224.26, 224.56, 225.21, and 226.13. Those are going to be trouble places for Tesla to the upside. Now, if we break the 226.13, this 200 EMA is right here at 226.53. Around that area, we could possibly have trouble to the upside for Tesla. And Tesla normally exceeds its ATR. Let me say that. Now, where are the trouble places to the downside? If by chance we lose the support of where we are now under the 221, let's say 59 area, we could possibly have trouble here at 221.13. Again here at 220.61, which is right where the ATR trailing stop is, under the 220.52 area, which is that ATR trailing stop. We could possibly find, if we lose support there, 219.68, 218.93, 217.99, and 217.30. Those are going to be support places for Tesla. Now, I always say that Tesla normally exceeds its ATR to the upside and to the downside. So trade carefully if you trade Tesla today, right? So we are now looking at AMD. AMD closed at 156.13. It's interesting that we've been trading in this gathering spot here. You see price has just been gathered here for a while, right? So this is our 4 o'clock candle. So we have moved up. 156.13 was where we closed on yesterday. We've made a pre-market high of 161.24, but as you can see, we are trading in a gathering spot, right? So I always say, where are the trouble places? After I identify the gathering spot, I try to locate where my trouble places are for AMD. So to the upside, it looks like we're under this 5 EMA. We'll need to get back above this level of 160.37. We could possibly have trouble here at 160.58. Again here at 160.75, 161.02, and if we break the 161.02, 161.34. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for AMD. And again, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale, because when I'm in the trade, I need to know where my trouble places are, right? So if by chance we are, it looks like we are breaking that level here at 159.87, we can find support here. If we lose that level, 159.52. Again at 159.18. If we lose the 159.18, 158.82. And this 158.55 or 158.50 area is strong support in my opinion. We have the 50 EMA and a previous support level here. So I would definitely watch that for AMD. Now, if we lose that 158.50, we could possibly have support at 158.21 and again at 158.05. If we lose that 158.05, we can come back to 157.59. So again, if you trade AMD, it has been trading in a gathering spot and looks like it's trying to break back to the downside. So I would say, again, trade carefully today. We do have some information coming out at 8:30, so trade carefully. So let's go to NVDA to see where we are today. It closed at 135.72. It too has gapped to the upside slightly. Looks as if NVDA was an inside day candle. Also, we have already reached that that target to the upside. Upside target was 138.57. Now, can we come back down? Absolutely. Now, to the downside, I'll go ahead and give the trigger for the inside day. If we break under 131.58, we have a downside target of 128.74. So as of now, where are the trouble places for NVIDIA? So it is finding support here at this 5 EMA. We see that here, creating a gathering spot for us. If we lose this level here, We could possibly find support here at 139.12, 138.57, 137.74, 137.13. In my opinion, that's going to be a strong area of support. I would watch that, kind of like a lot of support in that area. So I would definitely watch the 137.13 area. Under that, 136.67. Under 136.67, 136.42, which is really close. So there's a lot of support for NVIDIA in this area. Now, if we should break that 135.98, we could find support there, or 135.60. Under 135.60, 134.93, 134.44, and 133.70. That's going to bring us to the 200 EMA and a previous resistance or support area. So if you trade NVIDIA today, those are areas that I would definitely watch for, to find support. Now, to the upside, it could just continue climbing, right? So I would definitely say watch. If it break back above the 140.30 for NVIDIA, we could definitely keep moving to the upside. 140.30. I have 140.38 on this 1 hour. Let's see if we can see. Yes, 140.38. So those are trouble places to the upside and to the downside that I will watch for NVIDIA. In my opinion, the market is going to be interesting today just to see how things have already moved up pre-market. Now, we are now looking at Apple. Apple closed at 231.78. What's interesting is we had this level here marked. Apple was trading in this zone, and that was on the 16th, only to move up to create another gathering spot, trade in this zone, only to bounce up. This is our 4 o'clock candle for today, only to bounce up today. But we had some sellers in this area. So if you trade Apple today, I always say y'all trade carefully. So we're going to mark this gathering spot here on this 30-minute chart, because you see this is where the body of the candles are. Yes, the wicks are here, but price still came back in this zone. So I try to mark this area because chances are price is going to come back to this area again, right? So trouble places for Apple, I would look at above the 233.64. We could possibly have trouble here at 233.88. If we break the 233.88, 234.21. If we break the 234.21, we could possibly have trouble at 234.44. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for Apple. Now, if by chance we come back to the downside, 233.21, under that level, we can find support at 232.86. Under 234.86, we could possibly have trouble around 231.99. Under the 231.99, we could find support here at 231.67. Under 231.67, 231.41. And under the 231.41 or 42 area, I need to get that off. And what's interesting about Apple today is I always say we don't move the market like this. How it came down and bounced off of this ATR trail and stop, only to move right back up to the upside. So yeah, that's why I say the ATR trail and stop, in my opinion, very strong support or very strong resistance. So trade carefully when you see those areas, or if you use that indicator on your charts. So this level of 231.19 is where price went. The high of this candle is 233.81. The low is 231.20. So price dropped all the way down here, bounced, and moved back to the upside. So to the downside, under this level of 231.19, I would definitely watch 231.03. Under 231.03, 230.77, 230.52, 230.44, and 230.13 for Apple today. So if you trade Apple today, trade carefully. I believe Amazon is an inside day candle. It is. The trigger to the upside was above 187.83, gives us a target of 188.41. Under this level of 185.61, if by chance Amazon break under 185.61, 184.56 is the target. So if you trade Amazon today, it is an inside day candle. Trade carefully. It is creating a gathering spot for us as of right now. So again, let's see how much Amazon normally moves per day. Amazon normally moves about $3.57 per day. So I'm not sure about trouble places to the upside. Let's see if we can get that. Trouble places to the upside for Amazon, I would definitely watch the 190.01. We are at, yes, 190.01, 191.93, and 194.01. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside looking at it on this daily chart. So yeah, Amazon is just Amazon. It does what it does, right? So to the downside, if by chance we break under 186.70, we could very well come back to this 185.61. Just know we can find support at 185.54, and again here at 184.82. If we break below the 184, 82, or 83 area, we could reach the downside target at 184.56. So yeah, if you trade Amazon today, trade carefully. It is an inside day candle. So let's look at my Netflix. I was looking at the ends. Netflix is always interesting. It closed at 702. It too was creating a gathering spot here, and we broke out of that back to the upside. You see how it bounced off of that ATR trail and stopped the 50 EMA and a previous support, or which is now our resistance, right? So that's 705.93. I would definitely watch for Amazon as a resistance area. 705.93. So if we break past that level, we could possibly have trouble at 707.38, 707.82, 709.96, 710.88, and 711.77. Now, if we break that, we're really close to the 712.68, which is the 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart for Netflix. Now, by chance we come back to the downside under 704.40, we could find support here at 703.63, again at 702.91, 701.77, and $700.72. Now, if we break that $700.72, just know we can find support here 699.67, and again at 698.71. And Netflix normally moves about $13.85. That is the ATR, average true range of the stock. So if you trade Netflix today, I always say y'all trade carefully in the market. Anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So trade very, very carefully today. We do have a few other inside day candles today. And let's see, Bank of America was an inside day candle for today. Let's see if we can get that. Well, it looks like we are having some issues with our internet has been a little bit different since the hurricane. So we're going to see if we can go back to the SPY. Yes. So again, we're now looking at the SPY. We was having some little issues with the internet and charts loading, and I was just wanting to do a little recap again. So SPY is normally what I like to end on. So again, SPY came up to this level 585.34 only to get rejected. We're still finding support here at this 584.67, 63 area. So I would definitely watch this. If we break this level, we could very well decline. So again, if you trade the SPY today or anything today, trade carefully, set your stop losses, and if you don't use stop losses or mental losses or whatever it is that you use, have the discipline to execute your plan. Stick to the plan, and once it goes against your why, get out. I always say live to trade another day. So y'all, again, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day. If you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, y'all be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.